Hi everyone, welcome to an extra special episode of our 2020 series of new timepieces, an episode where we talk about not one, but two brands at the same time.
So buckle up guys, we're entering a brave new world. There are 5 watches before us. Some of them are by H.Moser, independent company based in Neuhausen in the German-speaking side of Switzerland, just outside of Schaffhausen, and this city name might be a tad more familiar to some of you. So the others are made by MB&F, independent company based right here in Geneva. But now comes the big question, which is which?
Okay, we should probably explain this concept just a little. MB&F and H.Moser both decided to collaborate on a project together, kind of like a mutual redesign of each other's watches. So H.Moser gave MB&F their own aesthetic take on the MB&F Legacy Machine 101, and MB&F made it. And then MB&F said to the Moser guys, look, here's our remix of the Moser Endeavour Tourbillon, and Moser said, this is cool, we built it. And it sounds complicated, but you know what else it sounds like? It sounds like fun.
So let's not forget that MB&F and H.Moser already have a sort of working relationship. MB&F stands for Maximilian Büsser and friends, and one of those friends is precision engineering. And this company focuses on horological R&D. It supplies the balance wheels and hairsprings that go into MB&F watches, and it's also the sister company of H.Moser, and they've been working together since many years. So with everything that we already know about H.Moser and MB&F, well, let's look a little bit more closely at these watches.
You start first.
All right, so we'll start with the watch made by MB&F, the Legacy Machine 101, as reimagined by H.Moser. The LM101 was intended to be the essential legacy machine, the introductory course to the entire collection, hence the name 101. Well, here it's been crossed with the Moser watch that also takes a similar back-to-basics approach, the Moser Concept Watch. And the Moser Concept Watch has no logo, no numerals, no markers of any kind, and one of them doesn't even have hands, so we're lucky here to see some hands, but it's not immediately obvious what they're for. So you'll quickly figure out that these 2 hands are actually for hours and minutes, and all you have to do is turn the crown a few times to work out that this single hand down there shows the power reserve. So this is timekeeping at its most minimalistic, which is okay, because it lets us focus on the beautiful fumé dials. This kind of dial with its intense gradient of color and the way it plays with the light is something that is very strongly associated with H.Moser timepieces. But we see here how perfectly it works with another watch. So the 2-tone dial also complements the 2-tone movement, exceptionally finished as usual. And another hallmark of H.Moser, though a technical one this time, is the double Stroman hairspring, which you see in their most exclusive movements. And this is the first time it's been so clearly showcased thanks to the arcing balance bridge of the LM101. So you can really observe the double hairsprings from every angle. And for some people, this is ideal to visualize how the hairsprings, which breathe in opposite direction, improve chronometry. But for most of us, it's simply a hypnotic sight to look at for hours.
Let's not take hours. Let's move on to the next watch, which is by H.Moser, the Endeavour Tourbillon MB&F remix, as I like to call it. One look at the movement tells you that the basic genetic material of this watch belongs to H.Moser. Apart from the movement engravings, you have the distinctive finishing stripes that you only see in Moser watches. You also recognize the shape of the balance bridge. So where's the MB&F touch? Right here, when you turn the watch over. The high dome of the dial crystal, something you see all over the MB&F Legacy Machine collection, and some of the horological machines too. The dial configurations, having the escapement at 12 o'clock, is very MB&F. In the regular Moser Endeavour Tourbillon, the tourbillon is at 6 o'clock. The flying tourbillon itself, its height, how it projects way above the dial, is totally MB&F, as you'll remember from the HN7 Aquapod and the recent LM Flying T. And speaking of the Flying T, the angled time display that you see right here is also drawn from that watch. You will also remember this from the LM Thunderdome. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the regular Endeavour tourbillon has its tourbillon at 6 o'clock, but here the movement has been rotated by 180 degrees, so that puts the tourbillon now at 12 o'clock, and the crown is now at the 9 o'clock position. So you realize that this makes this in a certain way a left-handed watch. It's a mechanical necessity, but it's also a cool way to remind you that this is not your usual H.Moser watch. Now, I've saved the best part for last because that's how I like to do things. Beating for the first time at the heart of a Moser timepiece is the cylindrical hairspring that precision engineering perfected and debuted 2 years ago. Cylindrical hairsprings are a big deal for watch nerds. You don't see them that often, and they were historically used in marine chronometers because of their superior isochronism. And I love that this is how Moser decided to implement the cylindrical hairspring for the first time in a collaborative watch, because I think it makes a really, really strong statement about how the watchmaking industry as a whole will advance by working together.
So now I think I can speak for both of us when I say that we've been fans of these two brands for a long time. Edouard Mellon, CEO, owner of Moser, and Max Büsser, founder of MB&F, are two extremely creative and dynamic individuals in an industry that can seem very conservative and corporate at times. And this, obviously, we appreciate, brings some juice in the industry.
That's very well said, Matt. So thank you so much to H.Moser and MB&F for creating these watches, letting us share them with our audience, and thank you for watching and supporting what these guys are doing. So see you next time.
See you real soon, and viva watchmaking.